Next month, Zelenskyy will present President Biden with his plan to, quote, end the war with Russia. We're joined now by Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg. General, part of that report we just heard was that Zelenskyy wants permission from us to use American long-range weapons inside Russia. That would allow him to go to the negotiating table next year. You agree with that?
Yes, I do, Stuart, and thanks for having me. Look, this is how you fight a war. You fight it aggressively, and what the Ukrainians did was very smart. It was bold when they went into the Kursk region, because symbolically that's very important to the Russians. Remember, Kursk was the site of the most major battle, the tank battle in World War II, that turned the tide against the Germans for the Russians. So this, when they went into Kursk, there was a real reason they did it. It was a smart reason. They moved into maneuver warfare versus attrition warfare. And of course they should be given the weapons. What we should say to the Ukrainians, we're going to give you more, and able to do it, to be able to at least level the battlefield. I mean, you can't just allow an aggressor to have a sanctuary, and that's what we've allowed by restricting weapons to give it to the Ukrainians. We've allowed this to happen. There are no sanctuaries in war. There shouldn't be. That's not how you fight wars.
What kind of weapons do they want? I mean, we just say long-range weapons. What's that, missiles and that kind of thing?
Yeah, what they're really talking about is a longer range ATACMS missile. So you increase the range from 150 miles to 300 miles to allow you to attack what we call attack in depth. And that's what they really want to have, and is to put the onus on the Russians. You know, and this is really what you want to have. If we're going to support them, we the West are going to support the Ukrainians. And they haven't asked for any U.S. troops. They haven't asked for any NATO troops, and we haven't provided any, but give them the weaponry they need to protect their homeland. They're fighting a battle against for their sovereignty, and we should help them do that. That will actually, in fact, drive, and Zelenskyy is right, this drives both sides to the negotiation table. And that's how this war is going to end. This war is not going to end with a military victory. It's going to end with negotiations, and both sides know it.
Let's move to a different theater. Iran's supreme leader has opened the door for renewed negotiations with the United States over Tehran's nuclear program. He said there was, quote, no harm in engaging with the enemy. That's us. Are they in retreat? Have they been bottled up? Because that's the first time we've heard from the supreme leader about, well, we'll talk.
Yeah, I think what they have done, but that's because of the Israelis. What the Israelis have done is reestablish deterrence in the region. And, you know, deterrence is based on credibility, and credibility is based on two parts. And one is the capability, which you've got, equipment, and the other is will. And the Israelis have shown the will to strike against Iran very hard, Hezbollah and Hamas as well. So they've kind of set the table. And this allows Khamenei, the supreme leader, to say, okay, we want to go to the negotiation where what we want to discuss on nuclear talks. This is sort of seeing is believing. Wait till they actually bring something to the table. But I think what has happened is you're seeing a change of tone. Remember, it's been 3 weeks, Stuart, since that attack by Israel into Tehran that killed the Haniyeh, the leader of Hamas. And I think now they're kind of a little bit concerned about what the Israelis are going to do. You know, the Israelis have got a doctrine. It's called Dahiyah. It's a doctrine that is basically escalation dominance, where you actually go in once you're hit, you respond quite forcefully, well above the norms. And I think the Iranians now realize that. So I think that's a good idea.
Are the Iranian leadership, are they worried about being killed, assassinated themselves, like Khamenei? Are they worried about that?
Oh, they should be, because I think the Israelis are very clear. What the Israelis have done, they've kind of set the stage. This goes back to what they did after Munich. And basically it said there's no bounds. If you lead an assault on Israel, then we're going to come after you. We've said the same thing, by the way. President Trump, in his last State of the Union, in the last part of that speech, he said, if you attack an American, your life is forfeit. We said the same thing. We proved that. What Netanyahu is saying to Khomeini, the supreme leader, you're on the target list as well, and they should be. We said that after they came after we killed Soleimani, and they responded by putting targets and attacks into Al-Assad air base in Iraq. We said the same thing to the supreme leader. You kill an American, we're coming after you. And that's a good thing to do.
Okay, General, tough stuff. We hear you. General Keith Kellogg, thanks for joining us. We always appreciate it.
Thanks, Stuart.